Welcome back. Today we're not going to talk about radios. We're going to talk about a car that I just bought. The original one just went through the auction and got $3.7 million for. And of course, if you're up on auctions, you'll know that I'm talking about the Unrestored 1968 Bullitt Mustang that was driven by Steve McQueen in the movie Bullitt. Now, this model that I have is based on the unrestored car that was found, or at least it was put out to the public about 3 years ago by a family in New Jersey. Apparently the wife drove this every day because she was a school teacher, and she drove it every day to work. The other school teachers in the building said they always knew when she was coming around the block because they could hear her before they could see her. So that was kind of interesting. Anyway, this is a model of the 68 Mustang that they found, and we'd like to I want to show you a little bit about it and talk to you a little bit about the things I know about it. Okay, this is a 68 Mustang. Now this was started out, the original one started out as a GT model. Now GT models usually had fog lights here and here with the Mustang emblem in the middle. For this Mustang, they took those out. Now this was I'm not going to say a common modification back then because I'm old enough I can remember these cars. It's not a common modification, but a lot of people did this, not necessarily to the GTs, but to the regular Mustangs, because if you had a GT, you wanted everybody to know you had a GT. And, you know, with the fog lights up front, that was a big giveaway. So usually the GT owners did not do that. Usually the regular, if you want to call it that, series Mustangs, a lot of owners would modify by taking out the galloping Mustang emblem and blacking out the grille like it is on this one. Now, as you can see, you know, this was unrestored, so Greenlight made sure that they put some rust, you know, areas on the car where they probably would be, as you can see behind the front wheel. You know, typical place where these would, you know, start rusting. Now, it looked like Greenlight put like white specks of paint, I guess probably representing chips over the years, but they did a kind of a bad job on that. They put them on the tires, which, you know, I don't think they would be there, but that's just Greenlight for you. Anyway, and you can see the back bumper, you know, has the rust paint. Well, it's paint, but it's supposed to represent rust on the back bumper, which, you know, pretty typical. And on the other side, you have the same. It has a lot of rust starting up here at the top of the front fender, which was a very common place for them to start rusting out because the front wheel would, you know, throw the water up here. And, you know, I'm not going to get technical on this, but there was a nice place up there for the water just to sit and start the rust happening. Okay, now let's take a look at a few things about this car that is not the same as the one, well, as it was in the movie. Now, the color Highland green was not a standard Mustang color. So they had to paint these cars. Now, I do not know what the color was originally And I don't know if the factory painted this. A lot of times the factory would paint you a special color if you ordered it. But I'm not sure. I don't know about the history of the car. If somebody has that, please share it with us down in the comment section. But anyway, the one that was used in the movie, or when it was used in the movie, I should say, the chrome strip at the bottom, okay, it's there, but it's painted over Highland green. Also, the side scoop was painted over Highland green. So apparently, at one point, somebody either changed this or took the paint off, or changed the side scoop. Whoever did that, I don't know. But anyway, that's one of the differences. The other difference, which I myself cannot tell from the movie, but as you can see, this is blacked out, okay? And the gas cap is blacked out. Now, the gas cap was blacked out in the movie, if you watch. They just painted over the GT emblem. Just so, apparently, somebody in the production crew did not want, anything Ford to show. So they painted over the GT. They took the Mustang off the front, and so on and so forth. But anyway, that's what happened. The original Mustang in the movie, it's hard to tell if this was blacked out or not. Now, some shots it looks like it's blacked out. Some shots it looks like it's green. Again, if somebody can, shed light on this in the comments, I would appreciate it. The Mustang, or when it was found in New Jersey a few years ago, I looked at the pictures and it is green. So if it was blacked out in the movie, apparently somebody must have had it repainted. So, but again, if somebody has the history on that, they'd like to share it with us, please share it. The chrome tips of the tailpipes, I think, were painted black. They could have been painted green. I don't know. They were dark in the movie too. I don't think it had a radio antenna in the movie, but I didn't look close enough. They could have been painted and you would have never known it over. But anyway, that was painted in the movie. Now, I don't know if we can get an interior shot of this. Let's just see if we can. Get my light out here. Okay. Okay. As you can see, they did a fairly good job of representing it the way it was found. It does have a console in the middle with the seat belts tucked in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, you can, right there. And it has the white knobbed or handled 4-speed transmission that was on the original car. Mostly back then, if it was a 4-speed, they would have them white. A lot of cars had that. Some people would change them out. Very easy to change them out back then. GM did a lot of white 4-speed shift knobs. Ford, I'm not sure if they did or not. You might have been able to get that as an extra on there. But also, if I can get, well, let me just go to the other side. Maybe that would be better. Let's turn her over here. Also equipped on this car was there we get the camera up there. Okay. Also equipped on this car was the Shelby GT steering wheel, black rim steering wheel. That was put in, of course, the Shelby GT500s at the time. And of course, it's 4-speed transmission. I already told you about that. Okay, so there you go. There's the model from Greenlight. Does a pretty darn good job. It shows, of course, the American Racing torque thrust wheels right there on all four, of course. There's a little bit better look at the rust, simulated rust around the car. It does show the engine, if I can show you. Okay, apparently somebody broke into the barn, took some pictures, and took the air cleaner off of the car at one time. Now, this looks like to me the standard air cleaner. I don't know, it must have had just a chrome air cleaner without the snorkel on it. That's what I can gather. Okay. And the other thing that I think they could have done a better job on was the trunk area, and I'll show you why. Okay, looks real good, but the movie car over here, if I can get over here, over by this wheel well, and it could have been on both wheel wells, but I know it was over on this wheel well, was a hole that the studio put in so they could pipe smoke through it. So whenever Steve McQueen was doing the shot of not making the turn, and he backs up, and the wheels, smoking. Apparently they put a smoke machine in the car to make it do that. I would think the car would do that myself, but apparently that's what they had to do. I would think that the model creators could have done that. I think it would have made it a little bit more realistic, because the car has it. I mean, they showed pictures of the original car, and it did have it. Okay. So, just one more thing I want to point out to you, which I thought was kind of interesting. They had two of these cars filming the movie. For the first half of the film, or when you saw the car, there were the chrome strip right up here. Okay, was perfect. Then when the chase scene started, there was apparently all of a sudden there had a couple bumps up here. And if you notice, when the chase scene started, there was body damage right here. Okay? And that car, that had the body damage and had the two bumps at the top, were used for the chase scene. Apparently that was the car, the one that they sacrificed. Because if you remember in the movie, the last time you saw the car, it went over a ditch, and I think it was this wheel. I'm not sure. One of the front wheels was tucked underneath the chassis. Apparently, that one was the one that was sacrificed and was sold to a scrapper. And of course, the other one was the one that this family bought. So there you go. That's my new acquisition. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Wish I had the original.